Hi guys, it's Peter here, talking quietly. I've taken to talking quietly because it helps me in the woods as well. Sometimes we can be far too noisy when we're out, we miss so much. It's a day off. I thought I'd spend it in today. Got a few projects to work on. Got a questionnaire to fill in for a competition at work. It's a departmental thing. By every year we do a competition. The deli, bakery and that, and it's throughout the company, and I'm entering it this year for the first time on the mastercraft side as being the baker. Whether I'll get through or not, I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had to think about what I do, and a lot of the questions on the preliminary questionnaire don't have a lot to do with the department. It has a lot to do with when I was an apprentice baker, and that's going back a long time. I mean, a long time. Anyway, I'm doing the knob end of my axe. I'm getting there. I've got the handle more or less the thickness I want, and it's great. I can actually grip it, and it's going to be great for working on felling a tree. I've got to pick a tree out now to test it once I've done the blade. I've masked the blade up, and what I want to do is make a blade. I've got a book called I can't even remember what it's called now. I think it's around here somewhere. Wildwood Wisdom, and I swear that Ray Mears has read the same book, because seeing some of the projects he's done, and they are in the book themselves. Do you know what, I can't even see the book. Now there's the thing. I've got so many here kicking around that it's sort of probably stashed away somewhere. I'd recommend the book highly. It's got lots of little projects. It's an American book, dating from about the 1930s, and in there he shows you how to make a mask for an axe, but it's not the usual shape mask. It's more like an envelope. You have the mask is like that, and you have a flap coming over the top which you flip up and it just slides down. It's a better mask, and you can actually decorate it and make it look bonny. But this, I'm quite proud of this little axe. That's the original handle for the axe head. Now, as you can see, it's quite a bit longer by the new axe handle. If you consider that this axe head weighs the same as a GP small forest axe, so it's quite a heavy little hatchet. And I do think, you know, though someone I blogged about this, and someone said, you know, it's a person's choice. Ultimately, you get knackered if the axe head's too heavy for this size hatchet. It's very heavy. Even holding it there, it feels very heavy. My own design, I've got, instead of the axe handle coming straight up and into there and bending, I've got a little piece there. So when I'm holding it to carve it, I don't know, it just feels more comfortable for carving. So when I'm actually carving it, there you go. The knob end, as I mentioned just now, is coming along. I'm going to try and round it off a bit more, and then I'm going to do a little bit of carving there and there just to personalise it. No holes. Lanyard holes in axe handles. Why? If you're chopping, you're going to end up with blood blisters down there if you're not careful, which puts your hand out of action for a good while. Not a great lover for lanyard holes. Maybe in a good quality bushcraft knife, where if you're working over water, but you don't even need it then as such if you're careful. Good drop of brew there. Tim's come up with a challenge in Germany, outdoor baking. I'm going to have a go at it. Might not do it within his time frame, but it's just something for me to ponder on, because I've given advice on outdoors baking, and there are a couple of ideas that I've had for baking itself, which I'm going to have a go at, using basically two billy cans, one nestled inside of the other, and baking that way, making pies or a loaf, and what I want to do is put water in the ensuing gap, keep that topped up, and basically more or less do a steam cooker type setup, so you've got no direct heat, the heat's going through water into the centre billy can. Few projects in mind, and these are going to be ongoing projects over the next couple of years. One is to make a bow, another is to make a woomerer, which most people would know as an at paddle. I prefer calling it a woomerer because I want to make it on a woomerer style, which is very much like a large leaf shape, about, in fact it's about as long as that. The reason why, one of the main reasons apparently why the Aborigines made that type of shape is so they could use the leaf shape for carrying water, for carrying prey on. You know, they catch themselves a lizard, they can actually carry it on there. And a number of other things. Obviously you've got the spear end, where you notch the dart or the spear. The handle end often had a little piece of stone in there for using for digging or for creating other tools. Also bark craft, making containers out of bark. What I'm looking to do is actually finding an ash tree or a push, a sycamore, maybe a sweet chestnut if I can find one big enough. The heart of the sweet chestnut will make axe helves and a bow. I'm not looking to make a great fantastic bow, I just want to make a bow that's suitable for what I want to do. To test my bow making skills, I'm going to limit my tools to using the crook knife and one of them. In fact, basically the two tools I want to use is that. Obviously I'm going to use the axe as well, and making a bone awl as well. I haven't decided on the materials for the bowstring yet, but there's a possibility if I can obtain it, making one out of rawhide, or if push comes to shove, using natural vegetable cordage, you know, nettle, willow, apparently willow's too brittle, lime, you know, the bast from lime trees. There's so much natural cordage out there, and obviously they're moving on to making an arrow. I've looked at making a dart this morning actually. I've got some teasel somewhere which I'm going to use for a hand drill for making fire, but I looked at the teasel, I thought it could make a relatively good small dart. The Native Americans, particularly in the southwest, used river canes for making their arrows with, which is a different genus from the Phragmites. Though there is evidence that they may have used Phragmites for making arrows with as well, but it's a lot more brittle and more prone to breaking up. Now I'm going to look into using those, and obviously we do have a lot of hazel thicket in the area. Getting some hazel ones and making an arrow from them. I want to do the whole thing from start to finish using stuff that I found in the woods. Obviously apart from using the tools. I did consider using stone tools, but I do not have that patience. And I'm going to try and get into, from now until the end of time, try to get into doing a bit more carving. I've let that slip so much over the past year. I mean, I've got that project I'm working on, I've got that project I'm working on. Beech, birch, maple. I've also got this, I've got to shave that down. That's the start of a Leicester spear. That's a piece of yew. It's so bloody hard to work with as well. A lot of other projects on mine, and of course I've got work to contend with as well, which I've got to try and fit in. But work's good at the moment. I'm enjoying it. It's a great. I'm working with a great team at the moment. Anyway, chaps, a few shout outs. I'm glad the bag is working out, Mick, and I'm really glad that you like it. It's a great little bag. I'm glad that you're finding it useful. and I hope you can get the money together for a bushcraft course. Failing that, look into doing their spring and autumn foragers courses. They're weekend courses and they might suit you better, but it's eating. I mean, all you're doing apparently the whole weekend is sort of eating and looking out for wild foods. Let's just do a bit more of this. A bit more wild, not on wild foods. Any advice you want, just ask. I mean, it's the whole idea of this whole YouTube thing, as far as I'm concerned, is just sharing of skills and all that it entails. Sandy, I'm going to try and get down to your neck of the woods at some point in the next few months. I've lots of holiday time coming up, and I've got to use it up. At work, you use it or lose it, and I don't want to lose it this time. I've lost a few weeks in the past few years, and we can get together and get some dirt time. Maybe swap a few skills in the woods. Maybe we can go and hunt a rabbit or two and have that as part of our evening meal. Who knows? And on that respect, I've got a friend at work who's going hunting. He's just acquiring himself a new air rifle, and he said he will furnish me with a dressed and ready to the oven rabbit and squirrel. So keep your ears open, guys, because I might be doing some backwoods cookery using the said animals, and I'm going to have a go at hunting my own animals with a rabbit stick. For quite a long time I've poo-pooed the idea of that sort of type of hunting, but it suddenly clicked, and it will be, I think it's the aspect of going out, catching the food, taking it back, dressing it and getting it ready to cook, cooking it and eating it. It's that fact of using a primitive method rather than, oh well, I've got a rifle, I can take out a rabbit straight away. Actually doing the hunting and gathering part is very important in my book, and it's something that I think we in today's society miss. We're surrounded so much by technology and everything. We can go to the shops, get our meat, but we have little idea of where it comes from. You know, the shop tells us something, but it could be, you know, they can slightly bend the truth. They don't tell lies as such, but they just bend the truth ever so slightly, you know, because they've got to sell and they've got to make a living, and it's all part of the circle. Because if they don't sell something, they don't buy something. If they don't buy that, a bit down the line, the farmer goes out of business or whatever, or as it happens, the samphire gatherers in Israel will probably get out of work, because bizarrely the samphire I've been buying comes from Israel. How bizarre is that? Grows up in the estuaries around here. But then again, a lot of it's to do with transport, money and what have you. Anyway guys, that's the thoughts, and I'm going to get on with this, trying to make this knob just a little bit more curved around the top, and then I'm going to start working on smoothing it down. Soak that in a mixture, 50-50 mixture of linseed and white spirit for a week, so the axe head swells up, and then stop dress the axe handle so it's nice buttery smooth with a nice bit of slip. Then work on that bit nice and sharp, you know, so I can shave the old head with it and make a new mask. These Husqvarna masks are pants. They are really bad masks. And then look forward to getting my other axe head through the post, which should come through hopefully by the end of the month. Anyway guys, I'm going to sign off for a bit, and I've burbled on long enough. Bye.